Greetings and good evening, my dear ladies and gentlemen. As always, I'm Light Liger, and today I'm gonna be reviewing this DeFi dApp called WePiggy, which is operating on Ethereum and also 3 different side chains such as OGX Chain, Binance Smart Chain, and also the newly launched Polygon side of things. And I bet they're gonna be adding more chains as more time goes on. And WePiggy is basically an alternative to Compound, Curve, Venus, and other types of applications, which basically allow you to lend and borrow different assets. Now, I've always kind of been a bit of a skeptic, or I've kind of stayed away from most of the yield farming stuff, so I always prefer just lending single asset pools because there's no impermanent loss, and I will be also getting that same asset which I will be loaning instead of a farm token, which just keeps inherently losing its value. And especially when we are kind of in a bearish cycle right now, and who knows when it's going to be ending, maybe 8 months, 4 years, who knows, you always want to put your assets into use somewhere where they will be gaining more money for you, or interest in this case. And that's why there has been always at least one popular platform on all of these chains which have gathered many people to basically participate on Compounds, Venus, and Curves, and Aves, and etc. And WePiggy is one of them. This seems to be a Chinese based. The language comes in Chinese, English, and Espanol. And they actually also have an audit with Slowmist, which is a very popular Chinese auditing firm. So that's a one good thing from the get-go, to have an actual audit, because especially when it comes to things like lending protocols, most people put a lot of money in. And because of that, you want to have something that is safe, and obviously audits can be wrong too, but Slowmist, far as I know, never have been wrong before, at least on projects that I know. And there's a bit of a roadmap here, what they are building. So you got Arbitrum and Optimism, which I do believe Optimism is a layer 2 solution, or for Ethereum. Arbitrum, I think, is also same. So those are going to be available soon for Ethereum, I suppose. So I think, well, let's just kind of jump into the actual application and kind of see what's up. Here's a bit of the ecosystem partners kind of telling you what's what. That's a big list of different things here. Some I know, some are not so familiar. So let's jump into the app. So the URL has different sides to it, so depending on which chain you are. We were just in the Binance Smart Chain version because it saw that my MetaMask is actually on on Polygon. It automatically switched, which is a very nice feature. As for actual the interface and everything, I think it's pretty clean. I like it. Allows you to change language and also change the USD to yen in case you want to show. Now let's kind of explore a bit of these APYs. And here are all by the way, the different options. Now, each chain has different rates. So when we are seeing Rep BTC is % and 3, on Ethereum side of things, let me actually quickly swap back into Ethereum here to prove my point. It goes back into the Ethereum, and it automatically also changes the language. And here we can see it's 0.980%. So each of these chains have different coins available and also different percentages. And you also have to count in, especially with the Ethereum, the actual fees on the transactions. So paying that in mind when you're going to be interacting with these things. So let's go back into Matic, or aka Polygon right now. I think people are still calling it Matic for the long time being. Let me connect here and choosing back into the Matic side of things. And I'm going to be depositing some funds here. And the borrow APY means how much you have to pay back, basically the borrowing interest. And then there's the deposit interest, which is the interest that you will be getting basically on your deposit. Now, when we look at these percentages here from the get-go, I didn't look how much Chainlink is on other chains, but 9.46%, for instance, is a pretty high number. That is a very lucrative number, in my opinion. A lot of centralized services give you 6% at tops. So Chainlink on 9.46 is something looks very, very good opportunity. And then you have a lot of lower percentages, 4% on USDT. It's not very great, in my opinion, centralized or decentralized. And DAI also kind of low and weak. But Ethereum on DeFi getting 2% is pretty good. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be depositing. And obviously, I'm recommending probably using Polygon from the perspective that it has lower fees than Binance Smart Chain. But then again, Polygon has its own security issues, which I've tweeted about. Not going to be spending too much on those today. Oak Exchange probably has very low fees as well. So here you can see the Matic cost. The first thing you got to do is the approving the assets, which you're going to be depositing. This needs to be done only once. So remember that. And after this has gone through and approved, then you can basically deposit the actual sum, which is going to be taking another time. And then when you want to withdraw it, you just put the amount here and it takes it out from the actual service. Now I'm going to be checking just in case that I have some Ethereum. So I have a very small sum here. This is on QuickSwap, which I also have a video tutorial on. I'm going to be moving my very small amount of wrapped Matic into Ethereum because I'm just going to be squeezing all the potential money out of this. This is not going to be something that I'm going to be making a lot of money on. I'm just saying that this is going to be inherently just something that I will show you guys how to do. And let's try to refresh. Obviously, the approval should take a lot less on Polygon than this. So let's see where things are at. So let me open the MetaMask and see the activities. This is the QuickSwap. Okay, that is queued in. Why is this taking so long? Okay, so now that the transaction finally went through, we're going to be putting the max amount. That is the Ethereum that I'm going to be supporting. And what that basically means that is just going to be on the pool, which people can lend money from. So if there's going to be some people who want to borrow that Ethereum, then they can do that through this gateway. And this is probably going to be taking a minute or two to basically get confirmed on the actual blockchain. And in the meanwhile, we can explore a bit of the other stuff that you basically have going on. Okay, we already have this basically deposited here, and you can see the available amount, market liquidity, and the wrapped VPC, which I believe is their WePiggy own token, which you also will be getting part of the actual top of the Ethereum interest. So that is also important to always loan into the systems, which also give you a token which you can dump or participate on governance and different things. Here is a promotion that they currently have going on with NFTs and something like that. I always, as an NFT expert, I do talk about that not all NFTs, which are especially DeFi based, don't tend to necessarily have a lot of value. Some of these might have that, but for the most part, I wouldn't necessarily go invest in them. And then they have link for cross-chain bridge, but that is depending on which actual thing you have. And here you can also see the history of everything. Then there is the borrow repay thing. So in case you have borrowed things and you want to repay that asset, I think you can borrow wrap BTC and potentially like repay that in another asset. I'm not 100% sure about that. I never actually done loans. I'm not a guy who likes to do that. I really don't want to have any debt to any whatsoever kind. There seems to be this weird error coming along all the time. But and that's how basically easy it is to contribute assets to the actual platform. There seems to be still some technical issues here. Deposits, borrowings. Let me refresh this because it's not showing the Ethereum here. And then there is, in case you don't pay the money back, you always get liquidated. Remember that. So If I now would borrow a lot of money and I wouldn't pay that back, the Ethereum that I just provided would be basically, you know, get wrecked. And as of right now, there doesn't seem to be high multitude of different coins here. So let's see if I can search. Yeah. So these are the only markets that are currently available here. And when it comes to these borrowing platforms, I wish that there would be perhaps more coins available for people to choose and try on. Let's see, Oak Exchange, for instance, here. I'm going to have to approve it. I never used this chain before. And by the way, in case you have like an Ethereum address, there's a big chance that in that Ethereum address you have been given money on some other chain. So there's airdrops and things like that happen. So here we got OKT and OKB. One of these is exchange token. One is something to do with DeFi. Then you got Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDC, DAI, USDT, Polkadot, and Uniswap. And I think these two were also available on the Binance Smart Chain side of things. And somehow it also kind of like logs us out now and then from the platform. But kind of like wrapping things up here without making this video super long, it seems to be a secure platform since there's an audit and there's that possibility for you to earn some interest on some of these assets that they are currently supporting. So actually here they show you all things that are available. This is good. So in Bitcoin Smart Chain, Binance Smart Chain, you got ADA, you got Litecoin, you got Filecoin, Oak Exchange, and then you have Ethereum here. You got Loopring, for instance, which is unique, and UFI. So overall, the percentages are not the highest that there are because it's not using hoops and loops to other lending platforms. It's not like build it up that way like some certain yield farm sites are. But I do feel that there is an inherent value on just putting a small amount perhaps on, you know, this DeFi rate that it's giving on Ethereum. I think is pretty good. I don't think that there is and this APY, by the way, changes. At some point it was 2.54%, and there will be times when it will be lower and sometimes it will be higher. So it's kind of dependent on markets. But what I'm saying is there is money to be made with these types of things. And I'm going to link a couple of other things on the description in case you want to look into Venus and other applications. But in case you have other similar types of website which you want me to cover, you can leave your DeFi platform suggestions in the comment section below, or wallet reviews, or anything you basically want to see in the future. Thanks for watching. I will be seeing you guys on the next video.